What is up, guys? Everything Collectibles here. Back with another video, and I am recording this ahead of time, but this is now the 15th anniversary of Mattel's biggest scandal, toy scandal at least, toy scandal in their company's history. Cost thousands of children, it harmed thousands of children. And before we get to that, this is really a history video about just the history of the Sarge Diecast, its fallout, its return, etc. So before we understand what happened here, we need to go back in 2005, because really that's when the Desert line started, a year before the movie came out, with 12 original cars, and Sarge was one of them. Here he is, the original Thailand Sarge, no lead, very antique looking now. It's just one of my opinion, it's my favorite version. It's just, it's just weird. And obviously it has a lot of factory errors, because this is brand new. Open the package, and here's the bottom of the original Sarge. Not really shown anywhere on YouTube except for here. It will take you hours to find a video where someone literally shows you the bottom of an original Sarge. I didn't know what it looked like until I got it several months ago on my quest to complete the Desert Series. So yeah, he was released as part of the original 12. Then obviously he was re-released, obviously, when the movie Cars came out, when they introduced 4 new characters, including Lee Class Nitrate, Green Ramon, and Dinoco Lightning McQueen, the first Lightning McQueen variant. And this is when it gets kind of bad. So obviously Sarge was released in the Supercharged series. Now this one, as I'll show you, and this is why I'm touching this one is not the lead one. This one, here it is compared to the Sarge. Obviously it has darker paint colors and everything. Thailand, China no lead, I should add. So Sarge was released like normal, 2007, technically late 2006 for the Supercharged series. No lead, started off normal. And obviously all non-China lead Sarges that look like this do not have the 7 EA on the bottom. And we'll get into that. So he's released like normal. And then along comes, around April 2007, Mattel starts to cut corners because they ran out of paint for whatever reason. And they start to paint Sarge with lead paint. So, yeah, all of the lead Sarges can be identified. If you're looking, like, I would advise not to have this near children. That's just my advice. Like, do more research than what I'm telling you. But all the Sarges have the M1253 on the back. And even on the bottom, I don't want to show the bottom because they're also tipped over because it's just being held up by tape, like just Scotch tape. But it even says 7EA stamped, engraved on the bottom of the packaging. And it will say that on the bottom of this car, I'm telling you. This is the lead Sarge. And obviously you can see the measures that I took. So I don't get affected by it, which just... And it's also interesting to point out that this Sarge had the back of the second wave of Supercharged. So obviously the original first wave had, it was Leakless on the top, Lightning McQueen, Doc Hudson, King, Fabulous Hudson Hornet, Wingo, Sally, Dinoco McQueen, Sarge, Chick. So it's kind of interesting. The toy they recalled in 2007 had this packaging. But I think what happened was the ones when they switched to lead around April, May, they changed. That's when they shifted to the second wave of supercharged. So that's why you have no Sarge in the back. I always used to think because of the lead issue scandal that they removed Sarge from the back of the packaging, but that wasn't the case. So we learn something new every day. So if you look on Mattel's website, which, by the way, this is still on the website, obviously, 15 years later, you will have an option to check for the toy to make sure your toy either has or doesn't have lead in it. It will say, my toy says Thailand on the bottom, or my toy says China on the bottom. Well, I guess this would be an example. And then if you click Thailand, it says your toy is not affected by this recall. If you have further questions, please ask. Same for the China, except China has 3 options. 2 of them, this one is in one of them, it says it has either a 5 or a 6 on the bottom. And it says your toy is not included in this recall. And I think another one that has like a 1 EA as well, 5 and 6, those were not included in the recall. And if you click on the one that says 7 EA, it says, take this toy away from children immediately. This toy is infected by a recall, or affected by a recall. It has lead amounts. Let's be honest. It says the amount of lead has exceeding levels or whatever. I mean, come on, Mattel. Like, even if there's a little lead, it's still bad. Like, you did it just fine before. You made I guarantee you they made millions of dollars off of this franchise by this point, and there was no need for them to cut corners and literally poison children. I almost got this toy when I was a kid, but luckily my father just, thank God, found out about beforehand, and I'm very blessed. But I'm glad I have this to inform people not to buy this, for children. And you can check if you get a lot on eBay, and if that car is in it, then just get the lot, but just make sure to check the bottom, make sure it doesn't say 7EA made in China, Disney Pixar DCC China. And obviously the lead one would say 7EA as the last 3 digits. So I just wanted to make people aware of that. It was a very big problem, and it's bad. It was very bad. And the lead Sarge was also released in the movie moments with Fillmore. And also on the site, it also mentioned the lead Sarges will have the M1253 like this one does. And I think, I don't have it on the top of my head, but the lead Sarges that were put in with Fillmore in the movie moments will have something like K something with, I know there's a 5 in there, but I don't know that one off the top of my head. So yeah, needless to say, Sarge took a 2-year break as a release and a 6-year break as a single. He was not released again for many years as a single, but we'll get to that. Now in 2009, he was released with a 5-pack called Sarge's Boot Camp. It was exclusive to Toys R Us. I think it was probably like $40 to $60 at the time. He was released with TJ Murphy, Charlie Cargo, and Frank Pinkerton. This time he was re-released without the USA. It's more accurate to the movie. It just had his code. It was enlarged. The paint was darker. It still had that separate piece. This was finally colored in yellow, and the bottom remained relatively the same, except his expression was more neutral. In fact, the eyes on this one were just had a neutral look instead of that stern, angry face that Sarge normally has. Now, obviously, this is probably because Mattel was trying to, obviously, not use lead, and they had to figure out just a new way to make Sarge. So they did that. He was released next in a Walmart exclusive, I think it was a Walmart exclusive 5-pack with Sally, Ramon, I want to say Doc, and Luigi and Guido, I believe. No, that was that one. And I think something like that. But he was released there. I think Fillmore was in that one as well. But he was released with this look, and they're more hard to find than these, I like to add. This 2010 Sarge that I'm talking about was re-released, looked just like that, looked just like this pretty much. The classic stern expression, just only difference, they obviously colored in that yellow. They made this larger and got rid of the USA, which didn't have that to begin with in the movie. So there's that variant. And then flash forward to 2012, and he's released again the Radiator Springs Classic line with Lightning McQueen with Shovel and Fillmore. And I have that one. I still do. I just forgot to bring it for this video, and I don't want to edit and cut. So it was just weird. It had the punched in eyes, like eye plates, like 2 separate eye plates. And it just looked weird. The eyes looked weird to me. Didn't look like this. And I wanted this for years. I just grew respect for Thailand because they never try to cut corners for their toys, like using lead paint. That's just why I've always liked the Thailand Sarge personally. But yeah, there was that one in 2012. I got that one, and obviously. And then we have 2013 Sarge is redesigned once again with a weird off to the side stern look. It's kind of different. Obviously, it's now just a sticker eye instead of the raised eye that it used to have. Now it's all one piece of metal. It's not plastic like it used to be. So there's the Thailand. A lot more vibrant in the colors. It's just very different. There's the bottom. You can tell the difference. Now if we look at the China one, it's also very different in color. So, yep. So this was the original first. I got this when he was first re-released as a single. This is actually a Christmas present, so we got some playtime when I was still playing with the cars at the time, and now he's just a display piece, which obviously, so if you will, in the first 7 years of Sarge's existence, the Diecast Sarge, he's had this one, Thailand, so Thailand, China no lead paint, original, China lead paint, original, the Racerama dull expression, then he had this combined with this, sort of, or the Racerama one, so that's 5 variants. He had 6 variants, technically. They were all different. 6 variants by 2013. That is crazy for one car. To put that in perspective, by 2013, the classic Lightning McQueen only had 3. We had the Thailand, China. Okay, I guess he had 4. China Rusties. And then I think by 2013 he was released with maybe 2014, yeah. So he had 4. Sarge had 6. And for not being released for 2 years, that is incredible. Or not incredible, it's just very weird that I just don't get it. Like, they could have chosen any other car, but like, why would you, any car, like, why would you put lead? Just don't put lead in toys. It's not good. I mean, for God's sakes, they used to put lead paint in houses. And God, I'm going on about this, but I thought I'd do this on the 15th anniversary of this matter, because it's very important to let people know, because they're still roaming out there. You just might not realize it, but people still have these, and also loose. Now, some of them were lucky, and didn't get brain damage, which happened, or they didn't have growth stunting in their brains. That's kind of weird to say, but this toy caused the stunting of brain development in children. It was found. Literally, this toy right here. So, it's... To all you people who had this one as a kid, God bless you. I mean, you made it. just God bless anyone who had this. I just feel bad that they were fooled thinking it was just like this one, no lead, made in China in the late 2006, early 2007, and then you just are one of the unlucky ones that happens to buy this, and it's just horrible. It's deplorable. Still 15 years later, it's still arguably the biggest event in Disney Cars Diecast history. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Sarge was re-released from Thailand for the first time in 12 years, 4 years ago now, in 2018 in the new Desert line. Looked just like this, just had a more dark, his eyes were like tone yellow, cream colored almost. Just totally different from this. I mean, obviously this one will always be my favorite, but that's really the history of the Sarge Diecast for you since 2006. This is definitely the one diecast that has had the craziest story, and probably the most scandalous story in Disney Cars Diecast history. I hope you all enjoyed watching. This is Everything Collectibles, and I'll see you next time.